My name is Isaiah Morris. This is my EE 120, the complete microprocessor project. Right here is the memory address generator circuit. The address generator determines which memory location is accessed. It contains the program counter and the memory address register, or MAR. The program counter is used during instruction to fetch to move sequentially through memory. The MAR is used when an instruction needs to access a specific memory address, such as during load or store operations. The use-PC signal selects whether the address comes from the program counter or the MAR. I had no issues with the circuit. The circuit behaved well. No issues were created or dealt with during the circuit. For the controller circuit, the controller is responsible for generating all the controller signals. It contains the instruction register, which stores the current instruction, and step register, which keeps track of the current phase of execution. Um, the only problem was deleting the other wires. Sometimes deleting the other wires can be a little destructive because it could delete more than usual. But besides that, circuit behaved as expected. There are no other issues. The 2-bit red circuit here. Um, for some reason, the component was 4-bit reg instead of the 2-bit reg at first, so I had to remove that and add a 2-bit reg. But besides that, when I fixed it, it behaved as usual and nothing was wrong with the circuit. The controller circuit, this is the full controller circuit here. Um, there was no issue whatsoever. The circuit behaved as expected. There's no issue facing while simulating the circuit. Now the complete microprocessor circuit. Here's the complete microprocessor circuit. Here's the complete microprocessor circuit, which essentially gives the project that we've been working on a brain. And when I added everything all together, when I added design relays together, the controller and the adder gen, there was no issues whatsoever. The simulation went perfectly. There was no problem at all. When I simulated the design in Vertilog, there was no issue whatsoever. The GDK wave, essentially, I had to break up the microprocessor section into three sections, which is of course the controller, the address gen, the brainless. Essentially what I did is I just labeled the main parts of each one and just put it on the GDK waves. The simulation went great and as expected as well. Um, the lines, everything was right up until this point. I have no idea why GDK waves is doing this. I tried bugging a lot, but it couldn't get it right. Yeah, that's right. So I don't think things read. I don't think some things translate to GDK waves when you try to update whatever you did in digital code, and that's like a serious issue. Couldn't get it right for the most part. I would follow the instructions to the T, but I don't think it would save in GDK waves, which you will see further on. Had the and 0 sub and store act instructions. Paste the final context of your Roam val here. Here's my Roam val hex document. Here, essentially, I just edited the add No, I edited the and binary, the and hex binary, the zero, the sub, and the store count, and I would test each one to see if I could get a different GDK wave. My and waveform worked perfectly. They had no issues whatsoever. It showed exactly what it needed to show. The problem was when I hit this zero waveform here. That's what I'm saying. I don't think GDK waves or digital or whatever actually saves properly in my computer, which is why it's kind of getting the stuff wrong. And I'm inputting the numbers in perfectly and I'm following instructions to the T. It just won't do it. And it did the same thing for sub and it did the same thing for store count. Um, I've tested it multiple times. I spent 6 hours on this test and it just wouldn't do it. So I tried to do the extra credit to prove my theory. And here, as you can see, place the context of wrong vowels for the extra credit instructions here. I made my own test, my own values for my extra credit here. It says 2304. That's what's supposed to go in. That's supposed to load operate into the MAR. And then here, I think here's my ram.hex file that I'm testing. And then ram.files.text that I'm testing as well. Creating my very own. And here in GDK waves, it just doesn't read. I think that's what those X's mean. It just doesn't read. So I have no idea why it's not working. But here's my test, and then here's the screenshot of the wrong content. When I edited it to do initial begin read math, the Rams slash vowels dot text memory to read that. And that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. So let me know if you have any questions.